Hello dear all, this is Sadanand Kumar Malik, welcomes you all in entire physics. And today we will study about the phase velocity and group velocity of a wave packet in relativistic and non-relativistic limit. Actually, first of all, let us study about the relativistic limit and non-relativistic limit. So, actually, relativistic limit means relativistic limit means suppose if a particle is moving with velocity v, then if the velocity is in range of the speed of light, means if the velocity v is nearly equals to the speed of light, then we say the particle is in relativistic limit. Particle is in relativistic limit. For example, if the velocity of the particle v is equals to 0.8 into c, 0.9 into c, etc. This type of velocity comes under the relativistic limit. And non-relativistic limit means non-relativistic limit means if the particle is moving with a normal velocity, means suppose v is very much less than the speed of light c, then we say the particle is moving in non-relativistic limit. So here, just as the speed of a bullet released from a gun, the speed of a rocket, these all comes under non-relativistic limit because their velocity as compared to speed of light is very much small. So here we have defined both the limits, relativistic limit as well as non-relativistic limit. Now in both of these limits we have to find the relation for phase velocity and group velocity. So let us consider the relativistic limit first. Case first, in relativistic limit. In relativistic limit, suppose a particle is moving with velocity v, then let us consider a particle of mass small m is moving with velocity v in relativistic limit. Comma, then how we can represent it? Okay, so obviously if we consider the energy of the particle, so its energy will be given by the Einstein's mass energy relation, mc square, where m is the moving mass of the particle and c is the speed of light, as we know. Now stick limit, because we have to calculate the phase velocity and group velocity of the particle, or the phase velocity or group velocity of the wave packet, because for the particle a wave or wave packet will be associated. So let us try to find the phase velocity. Phase velocity Vp, and we know phase velocity is defined as Vp is equals to omega upon k, as we have studied in the previous topic. So if we want to calculate, suppose this is equation number 1, and if we want to calculate Vp, then we have to find omega as well as k. So we have omega is equals to 2 pi nu, and also E equals to h nu. The energy of a radiation is given by h nu. So from this equation, nu will be equals to E by h, and also the energy of the particle will be given by mc square. So here in place of energy E, we can write mc square upon h is equals to nu. So with the help of this relation, we can write the value of nu here. So omega will be equals to 2 pi in place of nu, mc square upon h. So this is the value of omega. Similarly, let us try to find the value of k. So we know, and k equals to wave number 2 pi upon lambda. Now let us use here the concept of de Broglie wavelength. So lambda equals to h upon p. Now p is the momentum, so we can write h upon m into v, where m is the mass of moving mass of the particle and v is its velocity. Now from here, let us substitute the value of lambda. Then we have is equals to 2 pi upon h in upon p, means here p will be, so k equals to 2 pi p upon h. Now let us find k equals to is equals to 2 pi in place of p, it will be m into v upon h. So here we have the value of omega as well as value of k. Now let us try to find the value of v, means substituting this value of omega and value of k in equation 1. Then we have the phase velocity Vp is equals to omega means 2 pi m c square upon h whole upon k means 2 pi mv upon h. Now let us solve it. Then 2 pi m will be cancelled out, and h will be cancelled out. Only we have c square at the numerator and v at the denominator. So here Vp is equals to c square upon v. Now as we have the final relation for phase velocity, Vp equals to c square upon v. Now from this equation, it is clear that because since the velocity of particle v is less than c, obviously v will be less than c. It's v will be in the range of c also, but its value could not approaches to the value of c, slightly less than c. So here from this right hand side, we have concluded that this right hand side will be more than c, because here this right hand side may be written as c into c upon v. Now obviously if we divide 1c by v, then the quantity will be more than 1. Suppose 1 point something into c, then obviously the speed of wave packet, the wave packet's velocity, or we can say the phase velocity, is more than the speed of light c, which is impossible, because this is impossible. This is impossible because we know that the speed of light is the ultimate velocity, and obviously it is also clear that the velocity of particle is less than c. The velocity of particle is less than c, but the wave which is associated with the particle, means if we consider a single wave which is associated with the particle, then its velocity Vp is more than the speed of light c. More than the speed of light c. It means that suppose a particle is moving, then if a single wave is associated with the particle, then its velocity will be Vp, and Vp is more than v also. So it is impossible to find the particle and the single wave together. It means that with a moving particle, a single wave could not be associated. So from this equation, from this relation, Vp equals to c square upon v implies then a moving particle could not be associated with a single wave. With a single wave. So the one conclusion we have found by obtaining the value of phase velocity. Now similarly, let us try to find the group velocity. So here, under this case of relativistic limit, let us try to find group velocity Vg. And as we know, the group velocity Vg is given by d omega upon dk. Obviously, if we study about this relation, then we will find d omega means differentiation of omega with respect to some variable, but we don't know about the variable with respect to which this omega will be differentiated. Similarly, at the denominator dk is again the differentiation of k with respect to some variable, but here the variable is unknown. So let us try to find the variable with respect to which omega and k will be differentiated. So we have the value of omega and value of k, means omega is equals to this 2 pi m c square upon h, and the value of k is 2 pi mv upon h. Now let's rewrite the values of omega and k. Then we have omega is equals to 2 pi m c square upon h, and k is equals to 2 pi mv upon h. So by this way we have the values of omega, and obviously in this equation m is the moving mass of the particle, and in relativistic limit the moving mass is not exactly same as the rest mass of the particle. Means here in relativistic limit, comma, the moving mass is defined as actually the moving mass m is equals to the rest mass m naught upon under root of 1 minus v square upon c square, where m0 is the rest mass of the particle and v is the relativistic velocity which we have considered. So here, by using this relation of moving mass, let us modify omega and k. So here omega will be equals to 2 pi c square upon h will be as it is, and in place of m only we have to substitute m naught upon under root of 1 minus v square upon c. Similarly, in place of k, let us write 2 pi v will be as it is upon h, and in place of m we can write m naught upon under root of 1 minus v square upon c square. Now let's rewrite these equations. Then we can write 2 pi m naught c square upon h into, we can write this term in numerator, then we have 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2. Similarly, here we can write 2 pi m0 v upon h into, again writing this under root term at the numerator, then we have 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2. So by this way we have the value of omega and k. Now here actually if you want to calculate the group velocity, then we have to find the differentiation form of omega and the differential form of k. So now let's search with respect to which variable this omega and this k will be differentiated. So in this term, let's see, in this term let us try to find the variable. So in this term, obviously 2 pi m naught c square is totally constant only, and here 1 again constant only, and only v is the variable here because c is constant again. Similarly in the k term, 2 pi m naught upon h is totally constant, v is variable, this v is variable. Similarly in this term, in the bracketed term, again v is variable. So in the omega term and in the k term, obviously only one variable is there, that is v, means velocity of the particle, velocity of the particle. So let us differentiate omega with respect to v and k with respect to v also. Now then we will find differentiating omega with respect to v. Then we have, obviously we have d omega upon dv is equals to so look here, 2 pi m naught c square upon h will be taken common because it is constant. So 2 pi m naught c square upon h is taken common, and the differentiation means d upon dv will be occur for the term 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus half. So let's solve it. Then we will find is equals to 2 pi m0 c square upon h will be as it is, and now the differentiation will be, suppose this is x raised to power n will be equals to n means minus 1 by 2, and x means 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power n minus 1 means n means minus 1 by 2 minus 1 into, now the differentiation of this internal terms, so here it will be 0, differentiation of 1 is 0 minus v square means 2v upon c square is constant. So this is the differentiation. Now let's solve it. Then we will find is equal 2 pi m0 c square upon h under costak we have, now this minus sign and this minus sign will be cancelled out, and this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out, and we have 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2 minus 1 means minus 3 by 2 into, now into we have here v upon c square. Now this c square and this c square will be cancelled out. Now let's write it. Then this v may be written here, so we can write 2 pi m0 v upon h into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. So here we have found the value of d omega upon dv, suppose equation number A. Similarly let us try to find the differentiation of k, means here now we have to differentiate this k with respect to v. So differentiating k with respect to v, then we will find dk upon dv is equals to dk upon dv is equals to, now in the 2 pi m naught upon h will be taken out of the differentiation because it is constant, and only differentiation will occur for this term, that is v under costak 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus half. So here the differentiation will be 2 pi m naught upon h will be taken out, and the differentiation means d upon dv under costak we have v into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2. Now actually we have two functions of v. This is the first function suppose, and this is the second function. Now let's differentiate them. Then we have is equals to 2 pi m naught upon h as it is under Kotak. Now let's means v. The differentiation of second function. The differentiation of second function means this. So here x raised to power n means n minus 1 by 2 and x means 1 minus v square upon c square and its power is n minus 1 means minus 1 by 2 minus 1 and the differentiation of internal term will be 0 minus the differentiation of v square will be 2v upon c square is constant, so c square as it is into now second function into second function the differentiation of plus second function differentiation of first function. So second function means 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2 and the differentiation of first function means v and its differentiation is 1. So finally we have found this term. Then what we will find, this negative sign and this negative sign will be cancelled out, this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out. Now let's modify it. So is equals to dk upon dv 2 pi m naught upon h under Kotak. We can write this v and this v multiplied with one another. Then we have v square upon this c square into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2 plus in the second term we have this means here we can write 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 1 by 2 may be written as 1 minus 3 by 2. So here we can write 1 minus 3 by 2. Now let's take common this quantity from both the sides. 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. Then we have is equals to 2 pi m naught upon h and this quantity is taken common. So 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2 and under Kotak we have in the first term v square upon c square plus in the second term we have 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power 1. So no need to write this one. Now let's solve it. Then we will find this v square upon c square positive and this negative v square upon c square will be cancelled out. We have only 1 that is multiplied by this equation. So here dk upon dv will be equals to 2 pi m naught upon h into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. Suppose this is equation number B. Now because we have to find the group velocity, so equation A should be divided by equation B. Then we have equation A divided by equation B. Then we have, so obviously left hand side will be divided by left hand side means d omega upon dv whole upon dk upon dv is equals to d omega upon dv means 2 pi m0 v upon h into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. Let's substitute this means here 2 pi m naught v upon h into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. Similarly, the value of dk upon dv means 2 pi m naught upon h into 1 minus v square upon c square raised to power minus 3 by 2. Now let's solve. Then this term and this term will be cancelled out. 2 pi m naught will be cancelled out and h will be cancelled out. Only we have v at the numerator. Similarly dv and dv will be cancelled out. We have d omega upon dk is equals to, on right hand side we have only v, so d omega upon dk means group velocity, so vg is equals to v, and here this v is equals to the particle velocity. This v is particle velocity. So this is the relation for group velocity. Suppose equation number 2. Now let's see which this equation will indicates. Actually this equation indicates that the group velocity means the velocity of the wave packet, means the actual velocity of the wave packet is exactly equal to the particle velocity. It means that if a particle is moving in any direction, then with the particle a wave packet will be associated, means this wave packet is formed by the superposition of a lot of waves. So here it is concluded that with a moving particle, instead of a single wave, a group of wave, means a wave packet will be associated. So we have the relation for group velocity that is given by equation 2, and also we have derived the phase velocity Vp equals to ca square upon v. Now using this both of the relation, let us establish the relation between Vp and Vg. Then we have obviously Vp equals to ca square upon v, and this v is equals to Vg. So in place of v we can write Vg, implies then Vp into Vg is equals to ca square. So this is the required relation between Vp and Vg in relativistic limit. Suppose equation number 3. Now let us consider the second case in non-relativistic limit. If the particle is moving in non-relativistic limit. Non-relativistic limit. Non-relativistic limit means if the particle's velocity is v, then v is very much less than the speed of light c, then this is known as non-relativistic limit. Now in case of non-relativistic limit, let us define something. If the particle is moving in non-relativistic limit, then its energy will be the kinetic energy. So we can use the energy of particle E equals to mv square upon 2. This will be the energy of particle. Now in non-relativistic limit, E equals to mc square will not be fulfilled. It will not be applied. You have to use only the kinetic energy relation. So now here under this relation, means under this second case, we have to find the value of phase velocity as well as the group velocity. So the phase velocity will be found as, so we know that Vp is equals to omega upon k. Now let us try to find its value. So here we can write omega means 2 pi into nu upon k means 2 pi by lambda. So here 2 pi and 2 pi will be cancelled out. This lambda will go to the numerator. So we have Vp equals to nu lambda. So here this is the relation for phase velocity. Now as we know by Planck's radiation formula, E equals to h nu. So from here nu will be equals to E by h, and obviously this is the energy of particle, and in case of non-relativistic limit the energy will be its kinetic energy, means mv square upon 2 into h is equals to nu. Substituting this value of nu in this equation, then we have Vp is equals to nu means mv square upon 2h into lambda. Now this lambda, let us try to find the value of lambda. So according to de Broglie wavelength, lambda is equals to h upon p is equals to, h means Planck's constant, p is the momentum, and it may be written as m into v. So in place of lambda, let's substitute m into h upon m into v. So here we have mv square upon 2h into lambda means h upon mv. So here h and h will be cancelled out, m and m will be cancelled out, and the square of v will be cancelled with the v. So here only we have v at the numerator and 2 at the denominator. So vp will be equals to v upon 2. Now as we have proved that, just we have proved the group velocity is exactly equal to the particle velocity. So here v equals to vg. Now using this relation we can write this v is equals to vg. So we can write vp is equals to vg upon 2. Means this is the relation between phase velocity and group velocity in non-relativistic limit. Means here we can say in non-relativistic limit the phase velocity is half of the group velocity. So by this way this topic has been completed.